Everyone in the restaurant turned when the CEO burst into laughter, sharp, echoing, almost cruel. She stared at the man sitting awkwardly at the table, wearing a worn-out jacket and holding a toy car in his hand for his son. A single dad? Really? This is my blind date, she scoffed. What she didn't know, what no one in that room knew, was that the same man she mocked would soon save her life. And when the truth came out, her laughter was replaced by something she never expected: awe, regret, and a love that would change everything. Chapter 1. The moment Emily Hart stepped into the upscale rooftop restaurant, the world seemed to pause. She wasn't just any CEO, she was the youngest tech executive in the city, known for her sharp decisions, sharp heels, and sharper tongue. Dating wasn't on her priority list, but her best friend secretly signed her up for a blind date, insisting she needed a break from her castle of loneliness. Emily expected a wealthy entrepreneur or a polished lawyer, someone who matched her world. Instead, she found Liam Turner. He stood when she arrived, nervously adjusting his jacket. His dark hair was slightly messy, and tiredness hid behind his warm eyes. On the chair next to him sat a small backpack and a children's storybook. Before she could ask anything, he spoke gently. "I'm really sorry. I didn't know my babysitter would cancel last minute, so my son is with me tonight. He's sitting outside with the restaurant staff. I hope that's okay." That was when she laughed. Loud. Sharp. The kind of laugh that stings a single dad? "This must be a mistake," she said. "I'm a CEO. I run a multi-million-dollar company. I don't do pity dates." Liam swallowed his embarrassment and sat back down slowly. "I understand," he replied quietly. "You don't know me. But I still wanted to show up because, well, people deserve chances." Emily rolled her eyes. "Whatever. I'll stay for 10 minutes so I can tell my friend I tried." But something unexpected happened in those 10 minutes. Liam didn't try to impress her. He didn't brag. He didn't pretend. He asked about her long hours, how she handled pressure, what she loved outside work. No one asked her those things, not genuinely. She found herself answering. Opening up. Softening. When his phone buzzed, he excused himself and stepped outside to check on his son. Emily glanced through the glass door and saw him kneeling down, fixing the child's jacket, kissing his forehead, wiping chocolate from his face. His whole world lit up around that little boy. For a moment, she saw something rare: love without ego, but pride tugged her back. She grabbed her purse. This was pointless, she whispered to herself and walked outside to tell him she was leaving. Before she could speak, a commotion broke through the night: the screech of tires, shattering glass, and someone yelling, "Run!" A black SUV lost control on the wet road, spiraling directly toward the entrance where Emily and Liam stood. Emily froze. Liam didn't. In one swift movement, he grabbed Emily by the waist, pushed her behind a concrete pillar, shielded her with his own body, and held her tight as debris flew past. The crash thundered through the street. People screamed. Emily's heart raced wildly, but Liam's hand remained steady on her shoulder. "Are you hurt?" he asked, breathless. "No," she whispered, shaken. How did you move so fast?" Before he could answer, someone from the smashed SUV stumbled out with a knife. Panicked, injured, desperate, the man lunged toward the restaurant. Toward them, Emily gasped, but Liam stepped forward with surprising calmness, positioning himself between her and the attacker. And then Emily saw the truth. He moved with trained precision, calculated steps, controlled breathing, sharp instincts. Within seconds, he disarmed the attacker, pinned him down, and yelled for someone to call the police. When the sirens echoed moments later, Emily stood speechless. He saved her life. He protected everyone. He wasn't just a single dad, he was something she never expected, and for the first time that night, she didn't feel superior. She felt grateful. And curious. Who are you really?" she whispered. Liam glanced at his sleeping son in the restaurant window before answering softly, "Just a dad trying to do the right thing. That's all." But Emily knew that wasn't all, not even close. Chapter 2. The next morning, Emily couldn't focus on anything, not the board meeting, not the quarterly reports, not even the angry email from her investors. Her mind replayed last night's chaos, but more than that, it replayed Liam, his strength, his gentleness, his quiet courage, his embarrassment when she laughed at him, his instinct to save her without hesitation. By afternoon, she found herself driving to the address the police had taken from Liam's statement. A small, humble apartment complex. Not the kind of place she ever imagined visiting. She hesitated outside his door, then knocked. Liam opened it with surprise in his eyes, his son sitting on his hip eating a banana. Emily suddenly felt very small. She took a breath. Apologizing had never been part of her skill set. I came to say thank you. Anne. I'm sorry. For how I treated you. Liam offered a small smile. You don't have to apologize. I do, she insisted. I judged you before even knowing you. And last night you protected me without thinking twice. He stepped aside to let her in. The apartment was small but warm, drawings taped on the fridge, toys on the floor, sunlight through old curtains. It felt real. Alive. Human. Liam set his son down and poured Emily a cup of tea. As they sat, she finally asked what had been eating at her since the crash. How did you move like that? And how did you know how to handle that attacker? Liam looked away, debating. Then he told her, before becoming a full-time single dad, he had worked as a rescue officer, a specialized unit trained for emergencies. After losing his wife during childbirth, he left the job to raise his son, choosing parenthood over danger. I didn't want my boy to grow up missing both parents, he said softly. So I left everything behind. The uniform, the career, the life I once lived. Now I work simple jobs, whatever lets me be home with him. Emily didn't speak for a moment. The weight of his words settled deep inside her chest. You gave up everything, she whispered. I didn't give up, he corrected gently. I chose. Some people chase success. I chase safety for the person I love most. Emily felt her throat tighten. She spent her entire life chasing power, accomplishments, respect, yet none of it ever gave her the warmth she felt now inside this tiny apartment. Days turned into weeks as Emily found excuses to visit, dropping off books for Liam's son, bringing groceries, asking about his day. Liam never asked for anything, yet she kept wanting to give. Their worlds slowly intertwined. Emily introduced him to confidence. Liam introduced her to kindness. She taught him to dream again. He taught her to feel again. One evening, as they walked home from a park where Liam's son played happily, Emily stopped under a streetlight. I judged you the first moment I saw you, she admitted. And I was wrong. You are everything I wasn't looking for, but everything I actually needed. Liam looked at her with those calm, steady eyes. And you, he said softly, gave me a chance I didn't expect. You saw me, not just a dad struggling to keep up. You saw the man I am. She smiled. I want to keep seeing you. He took her hand, gently but surely, as if saving her all over again. Then stay, he whispered. Not long after, the woman who once laughed at him showed the world a different smile, one softer, braver, and filled with something she never expected to find on a blind date. Love. A love built on courage, humility, second chances, and a hidden skill that revealed the truth of a man she almost walked away from. And this time, she didn't laugh, she held on.